What's up, guys? This is the Khan here, and today I'm going to do something that I have never done before, and that is an unboxing and a review of a device. There's a first time for everything, and I figured that everybody else seems to be shoving their opinions down the world's throat on the internet, so why should I not get in on that action? So today I'm going to be reviewing the Sony Digital Paper system, also known as the DPT RP1. Now, some people would say that what I have before me is nothing more than a glorified Kindle. And we're going to find out if that's an accurate enough summary of the product, or whether there's something to it beyond that that justifies what some would consider outrageously high price tag of $600 for this particular device. Now, before I get into the unboxing, I kind of want to walk through why it is that I chose this device. And I can tell you that I made this decision after at least a couple of weeks of just agonizing and extensive research. And I'm still not certain whether this is something that I'm going to stick with, or if this is going right back to the returns department. There are a couple of other options that I had in mind before I settled on this one, and I'm going to discuss those in a second as well. But before I do that, what I want to do is sort of get into why I bought this thing in the first place. So, I am primarily an attorney. I also dabble in a bunch of other stuff that I probably have no business dabbling in, but there you go. In any case, back in 2015, I got myself a Microsoft Surface, and that was the first digital tablet that I got that, featured the ability to handwrite directly on the device itself. And I have to tell you that since then, I have just really taken to digital writing like a fish to water. It has completely revolutionized my workflow and just the way in which I process things and conceptualize things. The biggest example being in the early stages of a case, when you're trying to sort of, you have a complex litigation matter in front of you, there's multiple parties involved, there's a complex timeline of events that keeps evolving because you don't know everything from the outset. So what the digital handwriting allows you to do, and the biggest benefit that I found over traditional pen and paper, is that you can rearrange elements as you write them, right? So like if you have, I broke that Surface that I bought before, and in its place I bought this, which is a Samsung Tab 10.1 with the S Pen. And this device has given me great service, but I think it's time for an upgrade, and it's also really small, which is starting to bug me. And also, I feel like I've really taken to the handwriting concept enough where I feel comfortable enough investing in trying to get something that's a better feel, because there are drawbacks to a device like this, whether it's the Surface or the Samsung or any other tablet that basically features a glass screen. Now, it does have a huge impact in the handwriting experience, because you're basically writing on glass, so your pen slips and skids and it makes your writing look kind of bad. It's just it's just weird, notwithstanding the benefits to be had from, if you can just be like event A or event B and then person C and then company D, right? And now you can just select these. I can't do it on this app. I normally use an app called Squid that just lets me I literally use my finger and I'll just circle this and I'll move it here and I'll move this here, and then I can just draw arrows. It's beautiful. But I did a factory reset on this device, so I can't show you that right now. Anyway, so that's what I really like about being able to write on a tablet, and I really love it. So I decided, let me see if I can step my game up a little bit. And to that end, I ordered the device that we have before us today. Now, let's talk about the other contenders that were in the race before I finally settled on this one. The two main ones were, first of all, the Remarkable, which many of you may have heard about the Remarkable. It's made by this Norwegian startup company, and it is supposed to like really be focused on the handwriting experience. It's supposed to offer, allegedly, one of the most close to paper feelings you can get with a digital device. Not bad. It comes in a 10.1 inch screen, and it costs $600, which is about the same as I paid for this baby right here, right? The reason I dismissed the Remarkable was, you know, as I just pointed out, it's the same price. However, this one has a 13.3 inch screen, whereas, as I said, that one has a 10.1 inch screen. A. B, and this is going to sound kind of stupid, but the Remarkable only comes in white. And I detest the color white in electronics and really any consumer product, because, I mean, it gets smudgy and dirty and gross and all. Okay. The other option that I was looking at was something that was called the Books Note something, 2, I don't know. Now, the Onyx Books Note, that is. Now, Onyx is apparently a Chinese company, and they make this tablet. It is also, you know, an e-ink display, and it also has the handwriting. I was very tempted by the Onyx books, let me tell you. The biggest reason being that the Onyx seems to feature like a full-fledged Android 6.0, whereas the Remarkable and the Sony are surprisingly just dumbed down. Like, they're very, very focused on just the handwriting and like PDF reading, but beyond that, they're severely limited in their capabilities, which is just kind of, to me, that is by far the biggest drawback that kept me from getting the Sony. So as tempted as I was towards the Onyx book, 2 issues, or well, more than 2, I guess. The one issue was, well, that's a 10.1 inch screen. Also, again, this is 13.3. And since the Samsung that I own already it's already a 10.1, I figure what the hell is the point? So I went with the bigger one. And also, I mean, I'll be frank, there's a bit of a bias going on here. This is a Sony. Sony is an old, reputable electronics company that, I mean, I've been buying their stuff since as far back as I can remember. You know, my father bought Sony, and I don't think his father was around when Sony was a thing. But anyways, and since this is a bit of an outlay of cash, I mean, $600 is not nothing to sneeze at. You know, I really like to get a product that I know is going to last me a while, right? The other thing that I was thinking was that, look, the whole point of me getting this device is handwriting, right? That's what I want to do. I don't really need another Android tablet. I have an Android phone. I have a laptop. The whole point of this exercise is to have a thing that I can write on. And the reviews on the Onyx book seem to indicate that the handwriting experience on the Onyx is not all that great, and it's still a little slippy-slidey. So I figured, you know what, let's give the Sony a shot. Let's see how it goes. And if I can live with its limitations with respect to connectivity and cloud access and so on, you know, really, if all I'm looking for is a digital notepad, screw it. Let's get the one thing that, you know, does the one thing but does it good, instead of trying to get something that tries to do everything but fails at doing the thing that I need it to do. Okay, so that's enough of me running my mouth. I'm pretty sure that you guys are sick of listening to me ramble on and on, you know. No shortage of people who like to hear the sound of their own voice, so let's get this open. I'm going to open it carefully so that I can return it if I don't like it, which something tells me I will. There we go. Look at that. Oh, look how big that is. It's massive. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Holy sh... That is light. Guys, that is light. I read in the reviews that it was light, but wow. This is unbelievable. This is like nothing. This is by far the lightest thing with a battery that I think that I've ever held. It's thin too. Look at that. I mean, I don't really need lightness, to be honest. It's very rare that I carry like writing pads around. I'm generally at my desk, so it's not a huge plus for me. But you know, wow. Is there a thing on here? I can't even tell right now. Okay, press the power button to begin. Okay, we have the arrow in the wrong place. I'm sure. I am pressing the power button and nothing is happening. Oh, look, there's a little green flashing light. Oh, something happened. Oh, wow, that wasn't a layer, huh? That's that e-ink display, huh? Okay, now let's see what else they have in the box here. While that loads up. Put that out of the way. This is the pen. Now, this is another reason why I had a very hard time making a final decision with the Sony, and this is something that's a huge drawback to me, is so the stylus that comes with this needs to be charged, and that's a big no-no. Now the Samsung that I have here, these all work on the S Pen, and apparently there's a Wacom digitizer, and the Wacom digitizers seem to have like a lot of compatibility. You never have to charge these. I had this awesome like Staedtler pencil, and I was using that, and I have one at my desk, and it's beautiful. And I really like the idea of like implements that are easy to replace because I lose stuff all the time, and you can scatter them about. So you have one at your desk, you have one in your bag. You know, you can just grab something. And the other thing is that, you know, I also right now I have a Galaxy S8 as my phone, but I am planning on getting the Note, assuming it doesn't blow up, because the last thing I need is, you know, stuff on me blowing up, right? If I have a Note, the beauty of it is that I can have one stylus or the Staedtler pencil, and I can just have this and the phone on my desk, and I can just go back and forth, right? Now the drawback to the Sony is if I have a Note, I have to use this stylus or a Wacom stylus with the Samsung, and then I have to switch over to the pen. And that can be annoying. It's a little disruptive when you're in the flow and you're trying to, because my idea was to have like the Note for like to-do lists and reminders and just quickly jot down little bits of information, and have this as a draft pad. So it is a little annoying because it's like, oh, I'm planning, I'm writing, I'm charting, whatever, and oh, I have to pick up some broccoli, and now I have to like drop this, pick this up, and then write it. If I have a device that accepts a Wacom stylus, I can just be like, oh, I'm planning, I'm charting, blah, blah, blah. Oh, also, hey, by the way, I need to get some broccoli, right? So that's a big, big, big drawback for me. Okay, start. Yes, you can have my firstborn child and my kidneys when I die. I am right-handed with a straight wrist, I think. Yeah, okay. I don't know. What am I? I don't even know. Hold the pen as you normally would and trace the dotted line. Oh, damn thing's not even on. Don't tell me I have to charge the damn thing. Seriously? Ugh, this is going to be annoying. Alright guys, yeah, so sure enough, it seems that the stylus needed charging, which, I mean, right off the bat, I mean, this is not looking like this is a drawback. I don't need to be stopping to charge the damn stylus, you know, that's just not going to work for me. Also, I've been doing this little test thing, and I'm seeing another potentially huge problem, which is, okay, no, there was some massive lag before, but it seems to be working fine now. Okay, save and proceed. The initial settings, blah blah blah. Would you like to set up a paper app? Do it later. I just want to get the writing right now without setting up the, yeah, sure. Okay. Basic operation guide. Let's use the stylus. You can draw a line. Let's use the eraser. Let's highlight words. Okay, but the good part about the stylus apparently is that it has dedicated buttons on it that can let you easily switch to erase and highlight. For my purposes, it's more important whether I can use these to quickly switch into select mode. Like I said, I like to select little chunks of text and move them about. So emails, blah blah blah. Try the functions here. Oh, look, I'm highlighting now. Okay, good. Let's turn over a page. Displaying the toolbar, the home menu. Yeah. Okay. So now, this is a very, very limited device in terms of what it can do. You can essentially only load PDFs on here, and in order to do that, you need to use your phone or your PC. On top of that, in order to get the notes out, I'm assuming you also have to print them to PDF and naturally use the phone to get them out if you want to use them anywhere else. So let's create a note because I really want to do the thing that I want to do, which is, okay, so these are the different templates, I guess, that you can use. As paper, I like dot grid. I'm a huge fan of dot grid. I just love dot grid. So, and I hear from other reviewers that you can put other templates on here, and the ability to get a dot grid template on here for me is another thing that I really need for this to be a feasible option for me. But for now, let's go to graph because I guess that's close enough, right? Okay, and voila, we have a huge bit of graph paper. Now, let's get to writing. And I'm going to put my hand down. Yeah, not bad. Doesn't seem to be any lag. Now, let's do the cliche text testing phrase. How does it go? The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Okay. Now, right off the bat, I feel like that was not a... Okay, here's the thing. When you have a tablet like the Samsung or the Surface Go, right? The problem with the handwriting experience on something like this is one, you have the glass screen, so your pen is slippy slidey, and that makes your writing a little weirder. Okay. The other problem that I've seen with these is because the thickness of the glass is weird, because there's like this weird distance between like the point where you're writing and the line and the stylus itself, and there's a little bit of a gap, and it's not terrible, but if you're writing really fast, it can kind of throw you off, because like on some level you're just like confused about exactly where the point of the stylus is, and it's just a little jarring, and it's one of the things that makes this not a true to paper experience, and it's one of the reasons why I went with something like the thing that I have before me, is because like I'm wondering if, you know, this is just going to be more natural in terms of the results. Like, can it really replicate paper? And I have to say that I'm not 100% convinced at the moment. The other thing that I'm noticing right now is there's a certain waviness to this, and it feels, and I mean, it's light and it's thin, but I can't help but feel that it feels a little bit flimsy. And I mean, if you're resting your hand over time, I'm wondering if that's, and there's sweat and all kinds of oils, is that going to screw this up? I mean, I don't know what surface they're using here. This seems to be some kind of plastic which is not as durable as glass and as resistant to fluid and, you know, so on. And I mean, will this bend if it gets poked, you know? Like, what are we dealing with here? You have buttons here on your sleeve. Is that going to scratch the surface? I don't know. Let's draw. Okay, now I want to do a thickness. Okay. That's actually nice. Oh, the thicker. Oh, this is better. No. Oh, this is nice. Well, now it's actually now I feel like increasing the thickness kind of made it flow better somehow. Quick. No, it's still. Why is it doing that? No, maybe it's not calibrated right. I feel like the tip and the end point of the line that I'm making, there seems to be, I don't know, is it just in my head? Jumped over the lazy dog. Yeah, I'm gonna have to write on this more. Now, most important thing, how do you get the damn menu? Okay. What is this? Tap an area or circle the area you wish to zoom. That's what we're looking for. That's a zoom though. How do I rearrange stuff? Oh, I think, okay, I remember now. See, this is annoying. So now what I have to do is I have to go to area selection, right? And then I select something, okay? And now I can move it, okay? I don't know if I like that. And I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to use this thing for a couple of days and see if I can configure one of the buttons here to sort of maybe be a shortcut for the area selection option. Because I got to tell you, for me, that's absolutely critical. The thing that I love about this here in conjunction with the Squid app was I was literally just be like, and then use my finger to select something or just select it, and then I can just move it about, right? If I can't do that here, if every time I want to like select a bit of text and move it around, I have to first go here and then go here and then do the thing, that is disruptive to the flow. And why the hell am I spending $600 if I have to do that? Like, what's the point? Like, it's just not, just like, okay. Also, this does not have pressure sensitivity, so you can set the thickness from up there, but it's, I mean, I'm not really going to use pressure sensitivity. I don't draw or draft anything on the tablet. I don't know how useful it is to like use a tablet to draw. That's not my area. That's not what I use it for. You're going to have to ask some kind of artist for that. I mean, it's not critical for me, but again, I'm paying $600. I think what I keep coming back to is that for this price point, this thing is really light on features. It looks pretty. The writing experience is actually not bad now that I've kind of used it a little bit. I have to use it a little bit more. But the drawbacks are tremendous, right? The area selection thing, the syncing to the phone, the fact that it's basically an island unto itself because you need like 2 devices to get things back and forth and to convert everything to PDF. And, you know, in a pinch, it's nice when you have full Android on the tablet. Like, yeah, you know, you can use any number of devices. You don't need to rely on it. But having Android is a handy kind of ace to have in your sleeve, right? Because, for example, on this, I used the native Samsung app, the note-taking app. I didn't like it. I think it was bullshit. So I changed over to Squid. Well, first I tried OneNote, and I had OneNote, and I liked it, but let me see if I have something better. And I found Squid. Squid was beautiful, and I loved Squid. And I can also, in a pinch, use this to read a magazine. Use this to check my email. It's just handy. It's just a useful feature to have in your back pocket. The ability to just have a fully fledged device that you can do stuff on. Okay, so I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. I'm going to end this review for now. I'm going to use this tablet for a couple of days, and I think maybe I'll come back in a day or two and maybe do a second review, you know, sort of post-use review. But for now, I got to tell you, you know, this thing is on the chopping block, and I'm not too impressed. This has been Nikon. I hope you guys liked my first ever unboxing and review, and you know, if you did, let me know, and maybe I can bother doing this more often. The reason that I chose to do this because I felt like this is kind of an obscure device and there weren't that many reviews out there, so I thought maybe somebody out there would find this particular review useful, because I'm trying to address points that I think I would have liked to have these points addressed before I bought this tablet, and it would have been useful if somebody out there had like walked through all of these things so that I could have, you know, factored that information in before making a decision. So this is me doing a public service. You guys owe me. This is my good deed for the day. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will get back to you maybe in a few days.